Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm so happy to see you. Today, we are going to go back in time. We are going to learn about one of the most important people in American history. This is a story about a man who was born in a very small, simple cabin. He had almost no school. He faced many, many sad times and failures in his life, but he never, ever gave up. His story shows us that where you start in life does not decide where you can go. With hard work, with honesty, and with a kind heart, you can achieve amazing things. So get comfortable and let me tell you the long, true, and incredible story of a man named Abraham Lincoln. We will use very easy and simple English the whole time, so everyone can understand and enjoy his amazing journey. Let's begin. A long time ago, in a small log cabin in the state of Kentucky, a boy was born. His name was Abraham Lincoln. This was on February 12, 1809. His family was very poor. The cabin had only one room. It had a dirt floor and no windows. Life was very hard. Young Abraham helped his family with work. He chopped wood and carried water. He did not go to school very much, maybe only for 1 year in total, but he loved to read. Books were not easy to find, but he tried to read every book he could get. He would walk for miles to borrow a book. He read by the light from the fire at night. He believed that learning was important. When Abraham was still a boy, his family moved to the state of Indiana. Life there was also very difficult. When he was only 9 years old, a very sad thing happened. His mother became sick and died. Abraham was very sad. This was a pain he would never forget. A year later, his father went on a trip and came back with a new wife. Her name was Sarah. She was a kind woman. She brought books for Abraham. She encouraged him to read and learn. Abraham loved her very much. He began to read even more. He read about history and law. As a young man, Abraham Lincoln was very tall and very strong. He worked many jobs. He worked on a farm. He cut trees. He even took a boat down a river to bring food to people. People liked him because he was honest and told funny stories. Later, he moved to a town called New Salem. He worked in a shop there. People called him Honest Abe. One day, he counted a woman's money wrong. He gave her too little change. After she left, he walked a very long way to her house just to give her the few cents he owed her. Everyone trusted him. He decided he wanted to help make laws for the country. So he ran for a job in the government, but he lost. He ran for another job and he lost again. He tried to start a business and it failed. He wanted to go to law school, but he couldn't. He taught himself about law by reading many, many law books. He became a lawyer. People said he was a very good one. Even though he failed many times, he never gave up. He once said, "I am a slow walker, but I never walk back." He fell in love with a woman named Mary Todd, and they got married. They had 4 boys. But again, sadness came. Only one of their sons lived to be an adult. This made Abraham and Mary very, very sad. Abraham Lincoln kept working hard. He became more famous for his speeches. He talked about a very big problem in America at that time: slavery. Slavery is when one person owns another person. He thought this was wrong. He believed that all people should be free. Because he was a good man and a strong leader, people asked him to run for a very big job: President of the United States. In 1860, he won. He became the 16th president, but many people in the southern states were angry. Their farms needed slaves to do the work. They did not want the government to tell them they couldn't have slaves, so they decided to leave the United States and start their own country. This made Abraham Lincoln very sad. He wanted the country to stay together. Soon a war started. It was called the Civil War. It was a war between the northern states, the Union, and the southern states, the Confederacy. It was a terrible war. Many, many American soldiers died. It was the saddest time of Lincoln's life. During this war, President Lincoln did a very important thing. In 1863, he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation. This was a paper that said all slaves in the southern states were now free. It was a huge step. It changed the war. Now, the war was not just to keep the country together. It was also a war to end slavery. Later that year, he gave his most famous speech. It was at a place called Gettysburg, where a big battle had happened. The speech was very short, only 2 minutes, but the words were powerful. He said that the United States was a nation of the people, by the people, for the people. He said it must not die. The war was long and hard. But finally, in 1865, the North won. The country would stay together. The slaves were freed. Abraham Lincoln had saved the Union. He was very tired after 4 years of war. He wanted to be kind to the South. He wanted to help put the country back together. He wanted everyone to be friends again. But just a few days after the war ended, President Lincoln and his wife went to play at a theater in Washington, D.C. While he was watching the play, a man who was angry about the South losing the war came into the president's room. This man, named John Wilkes Booth, shot President Lincoln in the head. The next morning, on April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln died. The whole country cried. The man who had led them through the worst war, the man who had freed the slaves, was gone. The story of Abraham Lincoln is a true American story. It shows that even if you are born in a poor family in a small cabin, you can become great. It shows that you should never stop trying, even if you fail. And most of all, it shows that one person with honesty and courage can change the world forever.